What's them alphas?
No. We're not doing that today. I've been dragged here from the dredges of the WWE history to say why Triple H is a shit booker. Like, bro, we know Triple H is a shit booker. You did not have to get me out of my bed for me to sit here on live on Beyonce's internet for me to say that Triple H is a shit booker. He's a shit booker. We know he's a shit booker. We've known this for 2 years, and people have decided to take the wonderful storyline that I predicted, of course, that John Cena is going heel, and it's like, oh, great, he's wonderful. No, that booking dang near wrote itself. But everybody want to sit here and forget the other things. We want to forget the fact that Drew McIntyre had basically been wasted for the better part of the year. We want to forget that the Money in the Bank briefcase was wasted on a storyline that didn't even need that. We want to forget Finn Balor, and the fact that Triple H dang they don't know how to book good talent. He just books people that do this all day with Jey Uso, and we already got a World Heavyweight Championship match that everybody's already forgotten about. We just gonna forget that part right now. Oh my gosh, how do you screw up your 2 to 3 main pay-per-views in a year's time? Royal Rumble, my God. The Money in the Bank, my God. WrestleMania would have been bad, but dang it got saved by John Cena, which I love Cena for that. But man, oh my gosh, boy.
Monray Hudson. I'm the Alpha Zelmate. Let's talk about this. Today's episode is, as y'all heard, is Triple H. As y'all see in the title, is he a great booker or is he just lucky?
He's lucky as fuck. Like, he's lucky as fuck. Man, bro, no. No, let me see now. Let me be fair. Maybe a shit booker was a little bit strong because I will be respectful. He's been doing better in about the last, I'll say, 4 months. He's been doing better. He's not a good booker. I'm gonna say that now. He can dang near be down there with Tony Khan and AEW and the rest of them. He can dang near be down there. I ain't gonna hold you. Like,
That did show you the Jeff Jarrett one. Now you can't.
top, now he go. He dang near could be down there. And people are thinking, man, I say you tripping. No, I'm not tripping. People are sitting here and glazing the good bookings that he's done in recent memory and forgetting the rest of the stuff that's terrible. Like, no, he is lucky. He's extremely lucky. Like, people forget.
So what I'm saying is, when I say lucky, Cody Rhodes pointing to Roman, which led to the storyline between The Rock and Roman getting intertwined.
No,
They
that
did
you
a
you
final
think that
brawl.
was lucky, bro? If CM Punk had not got hurt, which I'm glad CM Punk is able to recover and everything. If CM Punk had not got hurt, please believe Cody would never won the Rumble. It would have been CM Punk winning the Rumble, going up against Seth, and you would have got Rock and Roman, and Roman would have still been champion all the way through SummerSlam. You know what you would have gotten because they still try to give you Rock and Roman anyway. People forget that they're like, oh, that was the Rock. This, bro. I need people to understand this, and Zell can correct me if I'm wrong. The Rock is on the board of directors. He is not over the board of directors. He is not the chairman of the board of directors. He is on the board of directors. If I'm correct, Zelman, you can correct me if I'm wrong on it. But I believe he's on the board.
He is a board member.
Yes, he's not the chairman of the board, which means other board members and everybody has to agree with the decisions that he would want to make. That means he's not having majority ownership on none of that, which would also include Triple H would have to agree. So therefore, this nonsense that it was all the Rock's idea and
His
everything. No,
best friend Ariel Emanuel, who
it
is his former agent, is the executive chair.
it's like it
That is
has
The
to
Rock's
be
best friend,
agreed.
though. So kind of
Yeah, I mean, like they friends. I'm like, bro, there's no way that the Rock is just gonna be like, hey, do this, and Triple H and the other board members are gonna be like, okay, cool. No, that's not how this
Triple H is
works.
not a board member, so he would have to do whatever he said.
It's not how it works. Well, yeah, Triple H. I'm just saying, like, it ain't that the Rock is just gonna be like, hey, I want a title, and they're gonna give him. No, it's not how it works. Like now, if it was Vince McMahon, the chairman of the board, cool, you can say that because he had majority power, stuff like that. It's ain't the same. And Triple H is specifically over creative. So let's go ahead and get that out the way. These one of ideas. But yeah, Triple H gotten lucky 2 WrestleManias in a row. Let's just keep it a bean. Last WrestleMania, he dang near ruined. Him, and I'm saying him and The Rock. They dang near ruined it. Dang near ruined it. You would have got Cody, you would have got Seth versus CM Punk and CM Punk wouldn't have wrestled nothing but like one match up until that point. CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Rock and Roman and poor Cody would have been strung out somewhere fighting some Bloodline members again. Like, bro, you know what you would have gotten. And luckily the people stopped that travesty from happening and got the belt off of Roman, because people forgot, they got the belt off of Roman. You forgot the tag team championships were held in limbo for another 6 to 8 months before he just finally decided to just split them, not make them lose the belts or something like that, like a legit. No, just split them, just to be done with it. They just make another title instead of splitting them. Like, it just but that's last year. People are like, well, he's done a lot of stuff different up until now. Let's look at now. I'm gonna be fair. Let me look at now. Now let's look at, we got some few good things. Cody's reign has been a lot better because he finally has a good storyline.
Shout out to Kevin Owens for bringing it.
But shout out to Kevin Owens. He finally had a good storyline. Kevin Owens took 3 losses to Cody, which he didn't need to. He could have won the second match and then dropped it back off for the third one back to Cody in a run back in the rubber match. Could have just had it, but no, they have to make sure that Cody, because Triple H is still under the same mentality that Vince is being. My champions, and I'm saying the main champions, my main champions can't lose their belts other than major pay-per-views. Like, it is just,
he broke that this week and people praised him.
Like, it's a perfect example. Right. And even though I'm gonna be fair, the Io Sky winning is a bit weird because Bianca versus Rhea was already selling tickets. That dang there could have main evented night 1. So it was already a bit weird, but fine. You want to make it a triple threat match? I have no problem with you making it a triple threat match.
And people praised it because it's a shock. It shocked people.
It shocked people, but that's what's supposed to happen with championships. They're supposed to change hands regularly, semi-regularly. It's supposed to be where you can't predict the ending of every match. Everybody, and not just me, I'm just being real. Everybody named Mama has been able to predict championship endings for the last 2 years. Now I'm saying since Triple H has been there, you've been able to know Roman ain't gonna lose the belt, Cody ain't gonna lose the belt. You every single time Gunther ain't finna lose the belt. Like, you've been able to see this easily. They should be able to change free. Why? Because it makes storylines less predictable. Now I'm not saying they should be like, the random Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Championship, not some random bullcrap that really shouldn't have ever happened. But I'm just saying, like, you should have active people actively in the championship storylines, A-list superstars constantly being able to fight over championships. Perfect example, how the SmackDown tag team division is right now is how all of them should be. That's how they should be. Right now, the SmackDown tag team division, even though most likely the Street Profits are probably going to end up with the title, or at least they should.
We don't know.
Like the popularity that they're going through and the hype and the push they're getting, they should win it. But right now, you got 4 tag teams that are straight up in the mix for the belts. That's how it should be. You should have multiple teams able to get pushes back and forth and be able to be in the championship market, and somebody wins it here and you can go on a little run, because that's prime WWE. It makes it where matches are not predictable. It makes it to where storylines are not predictable. They're not basic. They're just simple. Like, Cody actually had a good one. Problem with Cody's recent thing with Kevin Owens, every one of them was predictable at a certain point. Why? Like, you knew Cody wasn't gonna drop it. And that defeats the purpose of some of the stories of matches. When you know for a fact they're not going to drop it, why are we here? That ruins a lot of the storyline. Like, that's one of the main problems with Roman's run. Roman's run, you knew he wasn't going to drop it.
So I think people kind of didn't want him to drop. I think people really wanted him to pass Hulk Hogan. They hate Hulk Hogan.
I understand. I respect it. It's just, I'm sorry. It was pointless. And the sad fact about it,
I like Roman's run. I don't think every champion should have a belt for 300 days after that, though.
No.
But Roman run was supposed to be the Roman run. It's supposed to be the
Roman's run was
modern era.
Special. It started during a special time period in the world where it was needed for some light in the end of the tunnel for a lot of things. And I'm respectful of it.
Then it became we wanted to beat Hogan.
And then it just became stale. And then they made it to revive it with things like Sami Zayn, and then it became stale again.
By the way, shout out to Roman Reigns for telling Vince that he wanted Sami Zayn and Triple H. Listen, I want Sami Zayn with me because we can make magic together. That was Roman's idea. That was on Ariel Hawani show, I think. Y'all could correct me in the comments.
I'm just in the mindset like looking at that now, looking at Gunther now. It's like okay, we know Gunther, and we know Gunther's not gonna drop it. We know Gunther ain't gonna like we knew when we knew. And then let's look at other things like when Gunther first got the belt, who was his first opponent? It was Randy Orton. Why was it Randy Orton? It was because they fought a King of the Ring, back in the summer and everything. Randy Orton was on an entirely different show. People forgot the draft was Triple H's idea. Split the brands. That was Triple H's idea. Why in the world did as soon as he split the brands, were superstars just going back and certain superstars going back and forth still? No sense. The tag team belts still wasn't split when you split the brands. They wasn't split for like another 4 months. What was the point? Like it was just weird. Like you had Randy Orton go jump cross ship to go randomly beef with him. Randy Orton was knee deep in the middle of the beginning of Cody's beef with Bloodline and everything else. Randy had just gotten attacked by the Bloodline a week or two before then. Got put through a table. Next thing you know, he on Raw beefing with Gunther. Like what? Why? And not even beefing. He just showed up and said, "I want a title match against you, Gunther." Okay. Like, what was the point of that? That was stupid. That was dumb. Like it's bonkers stuff like that. Or you want more current stuff? I get what y'all got. More current stuff. Okay, cool. Somebody tell me. We were talking about Rhea losing the belt to Io Sky. That was shocking. How they're gonna go about that situation? That's good. Somebody explain the rest of the women's division for me. The rest of that wonderful talent in the WWE got amazing female talent right now. Somebody tell me how the rest of that booking's going. Are the new mid card championships relevant? Is the women's United States title relevant? Oh dang, they ain't even fought
I
on the show.
was gonna say Jade, but that's kind of intertwined with the World Championship story in a
Like,
way.
it's a bit crazy how the United States champion is on NXT. They're not even on SmackDown or nothing.
Because let's be honest, NXT uses their women better. So
What about Lyra? Lyra's doing good. She just had a fire match on Monday. Nobody cared. She had a halfway storyline with the mid card championships. And I'm not hating on them. I wish they were relevant. I wish they had more popular champions to start off the belts like they did with Seth Rollins. Instead, they gave them to like some up and coming stars, but they just not generating the hype. They don't really have the hype around them. Them belts might be dead in the water in 3 months.
that'd be fine. Jessica Green don't have much competition till they added Zelina over there.
It'd be dead in the water in 3 months. They should have started out with Zelina getting the United States title and somebody like Bailey or somebody with the Intercontinental Championship. Like you start them off on higher points for people that have more established roles or people that got more hype. And I mean, let's not even talk about Zelina, the fact that she should have got a push. That's another thing. Another problem that I have with Trips. I ain't gonna call Trips, but I probably have a Hunter. Hunter does not jump on the hot hand. He does not jump on the hot superstars. Like when Zelina Vega went against Rhea, a random episode of SmackDown, Zell could attest to it. She got cheered through the arena. Did wonderful. Random. Should have got a push. Know what happened? Back to the LWO with you. Haven't seen her since. Like just stupid. Like stupid. Or let's see, Chad Gable, one of the most skillful wrestlers you got on the roster now. He on sabbatical. He on sabbatical to get put to help push Penta. He being the scrub boy. That man is dang near Kurt Angle the second. Been raised like Kurt Angle the second. Even using ankle locks and German suplexes. He dang near jobber. The All Americans are getting more push than he did. It's ridiculous. Like it's to the point you look on the roster, and the roster, the amount of skill you have in the ring is dang near irrelevant. Like I've seen on TikTok and other things, they've called this the fan participation era. They dang near right. Your skill in the ring don't matter. Your mic skills don't matter. If you can make the crowd, do something, you dang it up. Not they just cheer for you. Cheering for you don't matter. You got to make them do something, participate or something like that. Throw a shirt out in the audience. Just I don't know. Hold your cell phones in the air like the Wyatt family, because God knows things like the Wyatt 6 now ain't going. And that was the idea that was dead in the water from the beginning too. It's like,
To be
man,
fair, the main piece got injured, so it was kind
it
of
was never gonna survive. Even if Bo Dallas didn't get hurt, it was never gonna survive. 6 people in a faction starting, just there was not really a lot of ways for them to stay relevant. Like this other when they've done other major big factions like that, like the Nexus or things, they immediately came bullied superstars, got in the beef with superstars, but played roles. They had ones in there that were jobbers. Not like everybody wants to be a main star. No, you can't make 6 people relevant at the same time like that. Like, unless they all come with their own individual stories prior to being a faction, which the Wyatt Six really didn't. They were just, oh, we're here, we're scary. No, that was never gonna work. So it's ideas now that I'm looking at, like, bro, why is you get up here with one thing and then like 2 things on the other side fall away? Why is things like Finn Balor a thing when Finn Balor is one of the best skillful stars you have on your roster? Why is the whole JD jobbers? You have Dominic Mysterio, who at one point was the best or bare minimum top 3 heel on the whole company. Man ain't did nothing in dang near a year. Other than, after his peak, like recent peak at least, his recent peak with the whole Rhea and Liv Morgan storyline, man has not done nothing but be a jobber. That man had heat. The man has worked on his wrestling. He's worked on his mic game because we all know Dominic Mysterio couldn't talk for nothing. This man ain't used him for squat. Right now, it looks like they're getting set up for Finn Balor to be split off like it always happens in JD, where it seems like JD is doing this revolving door of, hey, get new leader, eventually rebel against leader, kick leader out, beef against old leader with new leader, get another leader, kick a new leader out, get another one, beef with old leader. So like JD is doing the same thing over and over again. Why? Why are they doing the same thing over and over again? At this point, JD should have broke up. All of them should have broke up. After JD McDonald got hurt, shout out to him. He is a trooper for what he was able to do that last match. They should have broke up. Liv don't need them anymore. Liv don't need them anymore. Liv has enough respect. She's the best heel currently going in the main WWE roster. She's the best female heel. I mean, not a hoe. She don't need them anymore. Everybody else over there is jobbers at this point. Carlito, he's a jobber. Dominic Mysterio, they done ruined his run. He a jobber. Finn, he's Finn Balor now. He a jobber. Hopefully they starting to bring Finn back with whatever this storyline is. But come on now, bro. JD is doing rinse and repeat for the 3rd time. Started with Edge. Now they did it with Damian. Now they're doing it with him. It's crazy. Look at Damian Priest, another person, built up babyface. He heading straight into a nothing match with Drew McIntyre. That's exactly what it's looking like. Why?
You think they can build some heat for that?
What heat can you build? It's a nothing match because Drew is in the same boat. Drew, they had been building up as, this obsession with people who were helping Roman and all of that kind of stuff. It sounds like they should go towards a match of him and Roman, but we already know most estimates are putting Roman and CM Punk and Seth Rollins in a triple threat. So that whole storyline with Drew getting mad at everybody that helping Roman going out the window. So now what? You just gonna beef with Damian Priest for like it don't even make sense at a certain point. Just the misuse of stars and talent and riding hot hands and everything just don't make sense much. It just really don't. It boggles my mind. And I'm just sitting there like, why? Why are we doing this? And it's gotten to the point now we're looking at WrestleMania. Some of the WrestleMania matches are predictable. Not even some. A good chunk of them are. Like Tiffany Stratton, her Money in the Bank cash in. We know that Charlotte shouldn't beat her. Why? She just became champion. She's only had one defense. She's the hot hand right now. She should have no business losing to Charlotte. Yet, was it predictable that Charlotte was going to come back at the Royal Rumble? Yep. Was it predictable that she was going to come back in the Royal Rumble and win? Yep. We knew that. Like, it's like when Hunter, when he goes out of the box and does, the surprises or the old things, like a lot of the old style scheduling and wrestling that Stephanie did when she was creative director, which is wonderful. Or even some of the mid to early 2000s, early 2010s. Just, it's wild that we go from that to, I got to look at multiple superstars. Either they're going to get a hot hand and they're going to get rolled to the end of the moon, or they're going to get a hot hand for a second and they're going to get nothing done with it. I mean, Has anybody ever seen a Money in the Bank get wasted? Wasted. A Money in the Bank would be wonderful right now for both shows. Nope. It's gonna have to hold that one up until June. And then people gonna be upset with me when we know how this Cena went. Because when I talk about the Cena heel turn, the Cena heel turn was a very good, wonderful heel turn. I predicted it. Cena was not who I wanted to win. He's who I thought would win. I wanted Drew to win. Just because, Drew needed a better son. He needed his comeback for all the sacrifices he gave up. That man in Dayton, gave up 2 championships and a Money in the Bank ladder briefcase over one beef with CM Punk that he didn't even win. CM Punk had no reason to win that beef. He didn't even win it. So Drew gave up all that for nothing. And now he gets treated to at WrestleMania, a nothing burger against Damian Priest that he probably loses. What is the point? To be fair, he should win, but who cares at that point? And it boggles my mind. But to the Cena thing, this will be my last thing before I give it to Zelmay. People gonna be surprised. Cena gonna win. That I believe he gonna win. He'll win dirty. He gonna start up a faction because if Cena wins, he's a part-time champion, and I don't like part-time champions because part-time champions, one, they don't appear on the show a lot. They don't wrestle a lot. That's why I had a problem with Rollins like the last 2 years because he rarely ever wrestled on show or anything and barely appeared only a half of them. So it's like nothing against Roman. Just I don't like part-time champions. I hated when Brock Lesnar was champion. Hated it with passion. So Cena's gonna do most of the same thing because Cena's busy. So he's not gonna be on every show. He's gonna have to have a faction. Probably be like 1 or 2 people, to go ahead so that they can be around every week, give Cena's orders and stuff like that. You know what that's gonna sound like again? It's gonna sound like the Bloodline again. Why does that sound familiar? Because the Bloodline ain't nothing but evolution all over again. It's the same things over and over and over again. So with Cena, if he wins, go ahead and get ready for the little faction. He's gonna put together about 2 other folks, and he gonna run the roles. And he probably gonna stay champion up until about SummerSlam, Survivor Series, somewhere in that area. He'll lose it at that point, and then he'll beef with The Rock, because he gotta get his soul back, and he'll get his soul back from The Rock at the end, and have it ends up there. But I'm just saying, like, it disappoints me. It disappoints me because it feels like we only have certain ceilings for like 90% of the roster when it shouldn't be that way. And I watch Raw and I watch SmackDown, and I'm looking like we got 6 weeks till WrestleMania. And half of these storylines just do not have the fire to be able to withstand 6 more weeks. Especially like look at Jay and Gunther. They already got Jay fighting jobbers now. Because what more can Gunther do? He done came out to his entrance, which is no nice touch. He done beat Jay up 3 times already. They done already had it to where they had to be split up by security more than once. Like, bro, you can only do that so much. And we got 6 weeks left until Mania. 6 weeks. 6 weeks is enough time to start up a story, finish it, and then continue on with the WrestleMania story. Like, people got to remember, there were times when WWE and World Heavyweight Champions would win, like Cena and Batista and the rest of them. They would win tag team titles, have storyline with tag belts, drop them before Mania. Like there's time here to actually have storylines within storylines. My money's on we won't get none of that. So my final word to y'all, I got faith in 2 stories going forward. 2. That Cena story, and that's really only if they do like interviews and stuff, because Cena's not really scheduled to show back up until like March. I think it's like March. It's like mid-March, like March 17th or so. So really, what they should do, have Cena record interviews, talking about this is why I did it, all that kind of stuff. So that way you can show one in 1 week. Maybe have Cody record an interview another week, or The Rock and record an interview another week. Because Cena ain't gonna be back for 2 weeks. So
I think him and Cody come back March 17th.
So what they should do, Cena should record a little interview. This is why I did it. This is how I feel. So they can show that over and over again like they did the whole WrestleMania betrayal moment that went viral everywhere. And then Cody should record one another week. That way they can come back on March 17th and do the whole thing. That's one I have faith in. The only other one is that Bianca storyline. because there's a few ways you can do the Bianca, Rhea, Io Sky storyline, and they all end up relatively well. What I will say, don't let Triple H screw that up and not have Rhea in that match. I'm gonna tell you now, Grandpa. I'm gonna tell you now. Triple H cannot screw up that match because Rhea versus Bianca would have been a generational one-on-one match. That match would have set up whoever was the top dog, period. That'd have been a match they would have talked about. You want to make it a triple threat? Fine. He
Io
cannot.
is the best women's wrestler in the world right now. No doubt.
She is. So I'm just talking about like, overall popularity.
Oh, yeah, popularity wise, yeah.
So if he got if by the next 6 weeks go by and he got Io Sky versus Bianca one-on-one, I'm done. I will be done.
I saw the aftermath. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be that.
But it should be a triple threat.
Rhea cut a hell of a promo. If y'all ain't watched the post show promo that Rhea gave,
but it should be a triple threat. It should be a triple threat, which I'm all for that because you basically gonna have the top 3 women's well, 3 of the top 5 women's wrestlers all in one match. I'm for it. But we'll see. Otherwise, we gotta hope Becky Lynch come back and save the Intercontinental Championship for the women's side, and we'll go from there.
And Zelina versus Chelsea Green.
Zelina should win, but watch, Chelsea retains, and I'll be sitting here like, what is WWE?
By the way, this episode was we got one perspective. I want you, if you agree with my rate, let us know. By the way, if you don't agree with my rate, let us know in the comment. This is your time. This is your time to shine and tell us why you disagree with Monray and give your reason. And maybe you could convince him that he's wrong. Maybe. We'll see. But that is our show. This is a Monray's rant on Myzel's theory.
Believe me, this is light work compared to when Roman was champion. If Roman was still champion, I promise you, y'all would have heard way worse when I said WWE was dead. All of 2023, I said WWE was dead. They could not tell me nothing. You can go back and watch the Raw After Mania episode where Brock Lesnar randomly came up and attacked Cody Rhodes. There was nothing that they could tell me about WWE not being dead. There was nothing they could tell me. But we've come a ways, and WWE has hope now. But we shall see.
We shall see. Let me know in the comment section. How do you feel? What do you think? Do you agree with Monray? Is Triple H a bad booker and lucky? Or is he a good booker and you disagree with Monray? Let us know in the comment. Triple H, I know you got a burner. Let us know too how you feel.
Yep.
By the way, shout out to
Triple H. Triple H, I love you. You are one of the best heels in WWE.
I know you be watching.
You're one of the best wrestlers in WWE history. I love your work. I love everything about you, except for some of this booking. Like, can't nobody tell me Jey Uso is good in the ring. Can't nobody tell me that. Like 30 people cannot have spears and it'd be a good move to lose. Like, the only one that got it good right now is Braun Breaker. Like, nobody else's spear is worth anything. God knows Jey Uso's isn't. And 30 super kicks by everybody and their mama. Like, man got one of the most unoriginal movesets of any future champion that we're about to see, and then everything else don't even look that good. I'm just like, bro. Like, if I hit, like, even the promos, bro, there's nothing but yeet. That is not a good promo, bro. Get me off the show. Get me off the show, bro.
It's your boy Laffazell, man. That is Monray Hudson at Monray Hudson. At me at 99_Zelmay. This is Keeping 99. Zell's Theory. It's a Monray rant. We out. Yeet.